On September 10th, 2001, the Secretary of State, Donald Rumsfeld, admitted that they were unable to track $2.3 trillion in taxpayer money. And it just so happened that the next day, Tower 7 happened to fall to the ground. How many blocks away from the two towers that were hit by airplanes? Illumination. Now, today, they will scoff and laugh. Conspiracy theories. You guys are crazy. Yet, when they tell you that the $2.3 trillion, they did not mean that it was lost. No, they just meant they couldn't track it. But don't worry, it's been accounted for, but we don't have to prove it or show evidence or be accountable for what we say. Just believe us blindly. We're the government. You can trust us. Remember the weapons of mass destruction? The weapons of mass destruction that we told you were in Iraq, that unfortunately we had to admit after we gained all our construction contracts and oil pipeline contracts and established all our kingmakers, there were no weapons of mass destruction. So all the children of good American soldiers who were thrown into the line of fire and gave their lives for these billionaires to make more money and secure more territory and power in the Middle East, to plant bases right in the middle of it all in Mesopotamia. Don't worry about that. You were fighting for the freedom of America. Believe us blindly. We are honest people. We did not do strange things like fill African American veterans after Vietnam with syphilis, what it does to human beings, even though we're still in court now for doing that. The CIA does not smuggle tons of crack cocaine into the inner cities to fund guerrilla wars and not Fauci was not held accountable for misleading the public at Capitol Hill a couple years ago. This did not happen, even though those who watch the news know that it happened, and they also know, much like the kill and capture of Osama bin Laden, they do not have to release information to the very people they serve. Pledge your allegiance to a flag that does not pledge its allegiance to you. Do as I say, not as I do. Sounds like the Romans. Just like the eagle is on your money. The same eagle the Romans carried into battle. So tell me, friend, if we as democratic, quote unquote, and I say that because this is not a democracy, and if you have any sort of desire for intelligence, you will either know already or discover on your own that this is a democratic republic, gaslit as a true democracy, which it never, ever, 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 ever was. Remember one important thing before you take pride in your America. The treason. Do you know what treason is? Well, remember this. It's only treason if you lose, bro. Because if you win, you are a great founding father and hero of the institution. That is not a conspiracy for a bunch of Masons to plot to overthrow the king's colonies. to seduce the masses into thinking they're actually fighting to not pay the king's taxes. But who did they pay taxes to after the king was kicked out of the land? It wasn't taxes they fought for, because they still were paying taxes. It was just trading one organized criminal for another. The only question I have about the WMDs in Iraq is why these fucking stupid liars didn't just plant WMDs. Because they obviously don't care about lying to the people. Who was watching them that they couldn't just plant WMDs and be like, oh look, see, I told you so. We done found them. They got them WMDs. But no. They just wanted to put in your face how gullible and fucking stupid and naive we all are. Or better yet, they wanted to put on your face, oh, too fucking bad. You're too stupid anyways. You're not gonna do anything. Besides what we tell you. You're not gonna think anything or believe anything besides what we tell you. Yes, we threw thousands of your children to their death, telling them they were looking for WMDs that never existed. But they weren't there. Oops, sorry, we were wrong. But hey, your kids died for freedom. The freedom to secure construction contracts. Millions of dollars of rebuilding all the shit we blew up. Dollar bills, y'all. Oil pipelines connecting parts of the Mideast that before were very frustrating and inconvenient to transport the oil. Oh, and presidents of countries over there that now are our puppets. Nicaragua is where the CIA was selling crack cocaine into the inner cities of America to fund the illegal guerrilla war in Nicaragua. And for those of you that never heard of this and don't know, the CIA is still in court today with some of the settlements. So it's not something that I'm pulling out of my ass. This is actual court drama. So all the crack babies and all the war on drugs bullshit that your buddy Tupac Shakur wanted to cry about, that was all part of the plan of the American dream. So pretend like they're fighting a war on drug, yet its own CIA was smuggling tons. Do you understand that? Do you know what tons of crack cocaine looks like? Smuggling it into the inner city. Now remember, this is after they killed Martin Luther King. This is after they infected African American veterans of Vietnam with syphilis, who is bad enough on its own, but if you actually think about it, the good men who gave their wives syphilis, now marriages are broken, trust is broken, because now the wife thinks when she gets syphilis, my husband cheated on me, and if he didn't, what is he gonna say? How did you give me syphilis, Bubba, if you didn't cheat on me? They didn't tell him they infected him with syphilis when he went to the VA to get his shots or get his checkups. That's the service of America. They give you syphilis. They lie to you about weapons of mass destruction, throwing your children to their death. They lie to you about vaccines and bat soup. And they lie to you about $2.3 trillion of tax money just disappearing.